A lot to get to in this episode, so let's get it started. The AA Midland Rockhounds going for their 5th championship in 6 years. They got a little bye in this playoffs. Barely legal is taking the hill for game number 1. J.C. Swishman makes a catch out in center field. The throw to the plate is not in time, and Wichita takes a 1-0 lead. Mario Manzanillo, former Oakland A prospect, at the plate. There's a little steal. Logan Driscoll with 2 away pops out over to Colby Gaynor Jr. And that will do it in the first inning. Bobby Turner is the pitcher for the Wichita Wind Surge. He's had a very good postseason thus far. He's looking to continue it, but Fernando Uribe with 2 on, 2 out gets a single into center field. Both runners cross the plate, and the Midland Rockhounds take a 2-1 lead. Aldrich Soler up against Bear Lee, and there is an out in right field to prevent any further runs. Juan Oliveros goes down swinging, and we get through 2 rather quickly in this one, 2-1. Soler again later on in the 4th. He goes down swinging, and that gets us to the top of the 6th. It's Soler again. He is on the receiving end of a lot of big ABs, and he brings 2 home with a single into center off of legal. Here's Bobby Turner pitching against Colby Gaynor Jr., who hits a big gapper into left center field, and that ties the game up at 3 in the 6th inning. Ronnie Enriquez comes in. He's pitched 6 postseason innings in 2 games, and Juan Oliveros says, "You're not stopping me." Oliveros to first base, runner to the plate, and he drives in the leading run 4-3. Kevin Hairston in the bottom of the 6th with the runner on first base, hits it well over the head of every outfielder. Hairston's rounding to third, easily gets the RBI triple. Here's Joaquin Lopez for the Wind Surge, though. That one gets down in front of Oliveros. He's throwing home. Look at this. 2 runners back-to-back to tie the ball game at 5. Roderick Smith, the 20-year-old, coming in to pitch in the top of the 8th with runners on the corners, and Yoiner Fajardo going to pop fly out, and then a big strikeout to get through the middle of the 8th. Coincidentally, I was in Fajardo for vacation in Puerto Rico. There's Kevin Hairston in the bottom of the 8th inning with 2 on, hitting a 3-run jack, and that gives the Midland Rockhounds the 8-5 lead in this one. Hairston, 99, exit velo, 382-foot bomb for him. It's a big third base prospect for us. If it wasn't for the fact that Frankie Miller was in front of him, he might be a major leaguer this year. Freddie McGregor going to try to close this thing out in the 9th. Mario Manzanillo, grounder right over to Fernando Uribe, easily stepping on first, out number 1. Logan Driscoll, 1 for 3 on the day. Here's a pop fly. Colby Gaynor Jr. gets over there, gets under it, and that's 2 gone. Toby Welk at the plate, and he goes down swinging. The Rockhounds will win game number 1 in this 5-game set. Gotta win 3 of them. Legal gives up 3 in his 6 innings pitch. Hairston, the player of the game, he goes 4 for 5. So what would happen in game number 2 at Momentum Bank Ballpark? Roger Feliciano takes the hill, another big-time Major League prospect pitcher. Colby Gaynor Jr. up at the plate in the bottom of the 5th in a 1-1 game with a bunch of dudes on base, and he hits a bomb to left field, a 3-run jack, 379 feet, 92.9 exit velo for the son of closer Colby Gaynor. That's right, his wife is from España. Here's a big hit out to right field. Fernando Uribe comes up and hits a bomb here in the bottom of the 6th. And Uribe has some big power at first base. Could maybe be a future first baseman for the squad. 349 feet on that bomb. It's 6-1. Into the 9th inning, Roderick Smith will get the strikeout, and the Rockhounds close that one down 6-1. So they're going to get a chance to sweep. Feliciano was incredible. 8 Ks and 6 1/3. Walter McCall, the catcher, was 3 for 3 with a bomb today. So we go to game number 3, now in Wichita. Adrian Romero has not had a great postseason, and right away he's in a little bit of trouble, but Pete Incaviglia cannot get the big hits. So that'll bring in Bope Buttersworth pitching for the Midland Rockhounds today. The 6'5" pitcher is got some run support, in a little bit of trouble here in the bottom of the third, though. Swishman makes the catch, throwing to the plate, but just doesn't have the arm strength, so it's a 2-1 ball game. Mario Manzanillo hits a big hit out to right field, but Oliveros is able to run it down and make the catch to end the third inning at 2-1. Later, it's 3-1. Trevor Chambliss gets a base hit into center field to make it 4-1. So Midland looking like they're going to sweep this thing. Fajardo with a little grounder over to short. There's the throw out, but they do concede a run. Mario Manzanillo hits one into right field. Oliveros throwing home to keep the runner at third. So runners on the corners. That's enough of Bope. Pedro Chavis coming into this one. Chavis is a starting pitcher prospect, but he's only got in the 50s in stamina, so he may just be a long reliever for his career. Gets the fly out to center field, but of course, Swishman with that noodle arm just can't get it to the plate. There's the strikeout, though, and we've got a tie ball game through 5. Douglas White coming in to pitch in the 7th. Wind surge with a 6-5 lead, and Douglas White to Mickey Casper giving it up. The friendly ghost, well, his name's Gasper, but we're going to call him Casper. Second homer of the postseason for the friendly ghost as he hits one 413 feet. Trevor Chambliss trying to bring this team back in the top of the 8th inning. Gets a run on the board, 8-6, but Colby Gaynor Jr. with a little dribbler down the third baseline. He's easy to throw out, and we're through the middle of the 8th. Manzanillo finally makes an impact for the wind surge. We had been keeping him very quiet, knowing his tendencies and all, but there's a 2 RBI double for Manzanillo, and it ends up an 11-7 victory for the wind surge. Bope gives up 5 and 4 to third, and McCall was the hitter of the game again for our team. So it won't be a sweep, but a chance to close it out here as well in game number 4 with Cody James on the hill, and he's facing some problems. Even though he got a run of run support, he's gonna walk in the tying run. Brings up Joel Machado to the plate with the bases loaded. JC Swishman rolling over, making the catch, but again, that noodle arm is a problem for JC. 2-1 in the game. A 3-run bomb for Trevor Chambliss, and that's just going to make it very easy for Freddie McGregor to close this thing out. 6-3, the Midland Rockhounds win their 5th title in our 6 years in this franchise mode. The only title they didn't win, they actually lost the championship series. So there you have it, Rockhounds champions once again. And if we're looking at the A's, which I know all of you are, we are playing the Houston Astros in the ALDS. That's right, and it's been recommended that I go through the roster or at least do a little preview, so we're going to do that here this year. Alek Manoah, their best starting pitcher. They do have channel member Bloodlust Bear as a starting pitcher as well. They are not using subscriber Lauren Baker as a relief pitcher, however, but Greg McAdoo is up with the major league team. Don't know if they'll use him or not. MJ Melendez, 92 overall. He's going to be tough. Corey Lee is a very good backup. Owen Miller, their starting first baseman. Tyler Black will be at second base. Joe Perez, their third baseman, with Tyler Whitaker and Alex Bregman. Bregman's really taken a dump off lately in these last couple of seasons, so he's not the player that he once was. Jeremy Pena is now one of their best players, and he's always tough to play in the playoffs. Garrett Hampson figures to play somewhere. Obviously, Yordan Alvarez is their best player, along with Kyle Tucker. Those two guys are tremendous. So we'll see how it goes in game number 1 at Pandora Field in Oakland, California, as we are looking to get 2 straight World Series titles. Yuri Perez had a great year, but he's in a little bit of trouble here in the top of the first inning. Owen Miller hits one into center. It's caught, but it's a sacrifice fly. Houston takes the 1-0 lead for Jose Urquidy, who had a pretty damn good year. And Jeremy Pena and Alex Bregman and Joe Perez and Yordan Alvarez add to the lead. Look at that. 7-0 when we get to the bottom of the 7th inning, and finally get a run across the plate thanks to Kenny Stevens driving home Jason Gibbons. Here's Tyler Soderstrom at the plate with 2 on and 1 away, and Soderstrom hitting a 3-run jack off of Urquidy in the bottom of the 7th. His first of the playoffs. That's because this is our first playoff series, but that one goes 429 feet, and we need Soderstrom in the bottom of the 9th, but he cannot provide another one as the Astros take game number 1 on the road, with Yuri Perez giving up 7 runs through 2 innings. It was a nightmare. Hopefully that does not keep happening with this starting pitching. So game number 2, Dino Valenzuela, who was right there in Cy Young conversation in his rookie year, gets one down the first baseline. He gets through the first inning unscathed. That's a good thing. Alek Manoah, the starter for the Astros, he gives up a homer to Vladdy, but MJ Melendez ties it up with a homer of his own, and that brings us into the 2nd inning where Castaneda will make the catch to prevent any runs there. But Tyler Soderstrom swinging a hot bat in these playoffs, and he hits the wall with that one in left center field. Soderstrom stops at second. 2-run double for Soderstrom, making it 3-1 in the game. Dino Valenzuela gets the strikeout of Yordan Alvarez for 2 away with runners on the corners, and MJ Melendez Castaneda runs it down. He's playing a good outfield today. Manuel Tavares with 1 on in the bottom of the 3rd, hits one deep to center field. Is it deep enough to score the runner? The answer is yes, as Bobby Witt Jr. comes across the plate. 4-1. Yordan Alvarez, though, this time gets his revenge against Dino with a base hit, and that makes it 4-2. Owen Miller struck out looking, and now Garrett Hampson will hit one into the gap in right center field. Gibbons isn't going to get there in time. He's got to chase it all the way to the wall. That's 1 scored. That's going to be 2 scored, and it's 4-4 in a tie game. Kenny Stevens with the bases loaded strikes out. That's okay. We got another chance. It's Tyler Soderstrom swinging the hot bat, but not this time on the knuckle curve. We get through 6 innings. Into the 7th, another chance for Tavares. He strikes out. And then Castaneda strikes out as well to end the 8th inning. A lot of strikeouts to end innings. Vladdy Jr. strikes out to end the 9th inning. Could have had a walk-off bomb, so we go to the 10th. Damon Stahl gets MJ Melendez looking for out number 1. That brings up Jeremy Pena, who's been a thorn in our side in the playoffs before. He strikes out swinging, and that'll bring up Tyler Black, who hits one. Bobby Witt with a nice job laying out to stop it. But unfortunately, he's on first for Tyler Whitaker, who hits one into foul territory, and Tavares ranges back, makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the 10th, another chance to walk it off against Seth Martinez, and it's Jason Gibbons to straightaway center field over the head of the outfielders. That one all the way up against the wall. Gibbons trying for 3rd. He's in there quite easily. In fact, they throw home to make sure he can't get the into Parker. And then it's Julio Nivar. They're going to go home, but they can't get Gibbons. And the Oakland Athletics walk it off in the bottom of the 10th inning to win game number 2. Seth Martinez is dejected, but we're not. Damon Stahl picks up the win. Martinez with the loss. What a dramatic game 2 win. That brings us to game number 3, where Christian Javier takes the hill against Gavin Williams. 2 pitchers pitching pretty well. Julio Nivar in the top of the 2nd inning gaps one into the right center field gap, bringing home not just 1, but 2 on the 2 RBI double, and giving Oakland a nice little lead. Can they keep it up? Tyler Soderstrom now with 1 away. Soderstrom takes it deep to right center field. This one is all the way back, and it is caught right up against the wall. The sacrifice fly makes it 3-0 with Nivar coming across the plate. Jeremy Pena in a 3-2 game hits one off of the big wall out in left field. Longest single I think I've ever seen. But anyways, a single there, a 2-run shot for Reed Hoffman. Tell me that man isn't the GOAT. as Gavin Williams gets Kyle Tucker looking for his 5th strikeout, and then Yordan Alvarez to end the 5th inning and pretty much end his reign in this game. It's 6-3 later on in the bottom of the 8th inning. Julio Navarro with some solid defense to end the 8th inning. And then Bobby Witt Jr. comes up in the top of the 9th, kind of ruining a save situation with a big hit off of that wall. That's an RBI double, making it 7-3. So we're going to bring in Xavius Klink, who's pitched 1 1/3 of scoreless baseball. Gets the strikeout of Joe Perez. That's the 2nd out, and then Tyler Black hitting one down the first baseline. Manuel Tavares steps on the base, and the Athletics get a big Game 3 win, 7-3. Gavin Williams, 5 innings, 3 earned runs. Julio Navarro, 3 doubles in the ballgame. We move to game number 4, where Oakland has a chance to gentleman sweep here in the ALDS to move to the ALCS for the 2nd straight year. Bloodlust Bear is the one going up against us, the channel member against Noah Schultz. Manuel Tavares with the grounder over to second base. He's thrown out. They will not give up a run. Carlos Castaneda in the top of the 2nd, though, with a base hit into center field, and that will be one coming home against Bloodlust Bear. 1-0 Oakland. Reed Hoffman now with a chance, and that one's up the middle. Another run coming home. 2-0 with Castaneda and Hoffman on the bags. Noah Schultz gives one up deep to left field. Tyler Whitaker over the wall. And that is a 2-run shot that's going to give the Houston Astros a lead. So all that work going to waste because of Noah Schultz. Owen Miller gets one to bloop right between Bobby Witt and Carlos Castaneda. Castaneda with a big throw home, but it's off keister, and it's a 4-2 game. Tyler Black, though, grounding out to finally stop the bleeding. Castaneda making up for the fact that he couldn't make a good throw by making a big hit out to right center field. It's a 2-run jack to tie the game off of Ernesto Cabrera. 404 feet, a 98.8 exit velo for the rookie, second-year player. Tyler Soderstrom now, 4-4 game. He strikes out in the top of the 9th inning. And it's looking kinda grim, but up comes Castaneda against Alvarado. Pitching his 2nd inning of the game, Alvarado, and he hasn't given up much to us all series, but he gives one up to Carlos Castaneda. You cannot make it up. The big, young player, big draft pick for us. 2 homers to tie and to take the lead, and that's going to bring in Colby Gaynor. The chance to close it out. MJ Melendez right up the middle for a single. That puts the winning run at the plate in Jeremy Pena, and he goes down swinging with a big cut on the Gaynor slider. Here's Tyler Black. He goes down on the slider down low as well. 2 down. Still the winning run at the plate, and it's Whitaker who has a homer, but this one is easy to play for Tavares, and the Oakland Athletics are going to the ALCS. Colby Gaynor loves it. The whole team loves it, but this building at Minute Maid Park does not love it. But we don't care about their feelings, do we? As the Oakland Athletics and Carlos Castaneda get the job done today. Oakland winning the American League Division Series. They will be taking on the Twins in the ALCS because the Twins took out the 2-seeded Toronto Blue Jays. I had anticipated playing the Blue Jays, but they got taken out. The Cubs get taken out by the Braves, but the Phillies do move on, so there is a potential of having that repeat World Series. We'll see if it's possible, but first, we got to go ahead and we got to take out the Minnesota Twins. It's Luis Patino and Jordan Balazovic. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Who's going to win it? Give me the prediction. I will see you all next time. And in case nobody has told you today, I love UFG, fam.